Well, I think that what we've seen is actually absolutely what we more than frankly what we might have expected, and it's a really positive start to what I think promises to be the first of many steps to rebuild leadership from the federal level in the United States that can build on some of the actions we've seen happening over the past few years from the subnational level. So I would say, to briefly answer your question, that it's absolutely in the right direction, and we should be actually looking forward to seeing what more the Biden administration will be delivering over coming months.
Professor, the list is certainly ambitious. It's long. Here are some of the executive orders: conserving at least 30% of federal land and oceans by 2030, canceling new oil and gas leases on public lands and waters, creating green jobs, and environmental justice for communities disproportionately impacted by climate change. Realistically speaking, when can we see some kind of change or result, and in what area?
Well, what you also see, besides, I think, those really important steps that the administration is taking as of today, looking at lands, building a better infrastructure for supporting environmental justice, and also looking at leasing for oil and gas, there's a lot of other important elements of the set of executive orders issued today. And that is actually about building a more powerful machinery in the federal government to deliver on a very ambitious all-sector, all-economy climate plan. And what that really means in practice is that the Biden team is putting in place a very strong team across the entire federal government that will be coordinating efforts across all of these different sectors, including transportation, electricity, lands, and many others, to build an idea of what they can do and then to implement a set of policies that will deliver real emissions reductions in the next 10 years.
Let me move on to China and the United States, the world's largest emitters of greenhouse gases, the world's largest economies. Do you see this issue as one area these two countries can perhaps work together during a time when relations are strained?
Absolutely, yes. I am very excited about the possibilities of renewed U.S.-China leadership on this topic. China's been doing actually quite a lot in the past couple of years and culminating in a lot of really important announcements in even recent months by President Xi. The U.S. is now in a position to coordinate and to work together with China on building that global ambition and to actually once again help jointly lead the world in delivering real emissions reductions. The Biden team undoubtedly is aware that this is a really potentially important area of collaboration, cooperation, and information sharing. And so I'm sure that there will be many interested conversations on both sides about what our countries might be able to do together.
And finally, Professor, we're running out of time, but I quickly want to just get your take on the previous administration. How much damage did they cause when it comes to fighting climate change? Their action, or I should say, their inaction?
Yeah, so let's tell it like it is. The previous administration did a tremendous amount of damage. They delayed, they obfuscated, they covered up, they hindered at every turn. I want to also note that what the previous administration did is some of that can be unwound and actually reversed relatively quickly, and that's part of what the Biden team is doing. The other thing I would note is that leadership in the United States has been going forward under cities, states, and businesses, and they've actually built quite a strong basis for the federal government to now take a stepped up level of action under this new administration.